Hi, this is Tony Noel, the owner and founder of FaithfulFriends.com, a safe place to seek or lend support when you're anticipating, preparing for, or experiencing the death of a beloved pet. We're also a happy place to celebrate life with your pets. But today I am very pleased and proud to introduce a very talented and committed artist who has dedicated himself to the personalization and memorialization of our beloved pets. Matt Kennedy, the owner of Two Talls Pottery. Hi, Matt.
Hi, how you doing? Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. This is great.
Thank you for being on because I love your work. I've seen images of it and I was so impressed by your stories. And I wanted to let you talk to our audience about your creative background, your commitment, and what inspired you to develop a line of urns to memorialize pets.
Yes, definitely. I've been in the doing ceramics personally for 25 years now, and I'm self-taught, so I really didn't. I went to school for about, I don't know, one semester, I think, of ceramic school, and other than that, I've just read a lot of books and just got into it. I just love ceramics, and I've always had pets. I have always, since I can remember. I was, I think, 6 or 7 when I started showing standard poodles. So I had 2 standard poodles when I was 6 or 7 years old, and I remember going to the dog show and winning the ribbons and going to all that. My mom used to take me to that all the time. So I've had pets, all kinds of pets, ever, all my life. Actually, this time right now is the only longest period actually I haven't had a pet, and it's just because I'm starting a business and moving around. But I've always loved pets, and I've always loved ceramics. So they just kind of go together. I was making urns for humans for a number of years, and recently actually started to try to get into creating pet memorials. I've always created them on the side, here and there throughout my journey of creating memorials. I've always done a pet urn here and there, but I haven't really started to really, create them and make them until recently. And I'm excited to do it. I love it.
Are you finding that your patrons who have enjoyed and treasure your urns for the human animal market are coming to you and seeking similar items to memorialize their own pets?
Yes, for sure. They almost always ask me, hey, do you do pet urns? Or, I just had my beloved pet pass away, and I would like you to do a pet urn. And that's really what the reason why I did them before is that people would do that. They would buy the urn and say, hey, I have my pit bull or whatever it may be. Can you memorialize that? And I said, sure. So, as I was going through my journey, I had always made pet urns as I was going through. So.
Okay, as part of an adjunct to the
Yes.
human market, if you will. Well, I appreciate that explanation because I knew there was a real passion and some reason that you are in this market for the pet people. And one thing I have to ask you about is the name of your company is Two Talls Pottery. Could you tell us why you have it called Two Talls Pottery?
I sure can. I sure
Okay.
can. Actually, Two Talls Pottery was the original business name that I started off with 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago, because it was my St. Bernard's name. So I had her for 9 years. She was a wonderful, wonderful dog, the best pet I've ever had. And so when she passed away, I took her name, Too Tall, as my artist name. And I'm also 6'8". So that kind of was my nickname anyway, Too Tall. But so I took her, and so I sign each piece on the bottom TT. So I go by, I go with two T's. I sign each piece with 2 T's because of Too Tall. And you're recording this, right?
Yes.
Okay. So just to show, I don't know if you can show, but this is my grandfather, Wes Yates, and I called him Popo, but that's my grandfather, and that's Too Tall. And she thought she was a lap dog, and at 230 pounds. and she stood about 6 foot tall when she stood up. So she was 230 pounds, about 6 foot tall, and just a bunch of love. I just loved her to death. So
She was your dance partner
yes, she was.
at your
We used to dance.
6'8".
We used to dance. We actually used to dance. She could put her paws on my shoulder and we could dance. I also play the harmonica, so I played blues and she would sing with me with the harmonica too.
Oh, and how
Yeah.
long ago did you say goodbye?
Oh geez, that was quite a while ago actually. That was probably 20 some years ago. Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss because I know obviously she's always going to be with you.
Yes, she
Um,
is. Yes, definitely.
so Matt, you've mentioned about Too Tall. Have you had other kinds of pets other than dogs?
Yes, yes. I had a snake that I never touched. That was interesting. I had a snake. I've had a number of cats and dogs. I had, goldfish, of course, and and then I had a hamster. I had a guinea pig.
Oh my gosh.
I've had all kinds of things. I have had all kinds of things over the years. I'm just a pet lover. I love pets.
There you go. The reason I wanted to ask is, do you provide urns for all kinds of pets and animals and beloved friends?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I
Oh,
just
okay.
recently, last week or the last couple of weeks, I've been working on 5 bird urns or they're parrot urns really. But somebody I saw on another Facebook group, grieving Facebook group, that somebody lost a lovebird. So I made her a lovebird urn for her lovebird. So that kind of got me on the steps of making, more parrot urns and things like that. So yeah, I've done parrot urns, cat urns, dog urns, lizards, whatever it is. I love to carve and tattoo on everything. So that's what I was going to say. My original name was Too Tall's Pottery, and that's why my email address is Too Tall's Pottery. The business name now is Ceramic Tattoo Art. But I still go by Too Tall's Pottery, and it's still, people know the business by Too Tall's Pottery too.
So your art is unique because it isn't like anything I've seen. It's not applied, it's actually tattooed into the ceramic. Would you
Correct.
explain your process to us, please?
Sure. It's a really, I went to, I guess to tell the story, I went to school, jeweler school. Before actually I started ceramics, just before I started ceramics, I went to jewelry school in Carlsbad, California. They have a big place, GIA Institute, and I wanted to become a bench jeweler. Well, I'm 6'8" and I have these huge hands, and 90% of the class were of Asian descent. They were either whatever. They had these really nice, tiny little fine hands where they could handle all those little diamonds and all those little gemstones. And it just wasn't for me. I loved it, but it just wasn't for me. So what I did was I tried to use what I learned in jewelry school and apply it to my fine art ceramics. So I'm always looking for different tools to use and things like that. And I've always loved tattoos. And I went to a tattoo convention in Pomona, California. And I thought, somebody was selling a tattoo machine. And I thought, let me buy that. They sell it for $100. I bought it, brought it home. And I just absolutely loved it. It was like a little mini jackhammer. And it's a wonderful carving tool for ceramics. I wait till it's about almost dry. It still has a little bit of wetness to it, and that's when I use the tattoo machine to take out certain portions of the design.
So you also cast your own pottery.
No, I actually throw it on the potter's wheel. So I do
throw it.
everything. Yep, everything is by hand. Yeah.
Do you have a variety of shapes?
I do. Yeah, I can, which is nice. That's one, I guess, advantage to my small business is that I can, because everything is handmade, I can customize everything. So I make, fat shapes, thin shapes, wide, whatever kind of shape that a person would want, which is nice, so.
It's very nice. And you do know how to provide the appropriate recommendation for a size of an urn to accommodate anything from a lovebird to a Saint Bernard.
That's
Yes?
right. That's right. Yep. I have small, medium, and large sizes, or whatever size that they may need. It's pretty much, 1 pound equals one something per, I don't know what
Cubic
the
inch or something.
cubic
Yeah.
inches. Thank you.
Is
Thank you.
that
Thank you.
it?
Thank you. Yeah. So
So,
1 pound equals 1 cubic inch. So I just, kind of go by that.
so if in summary of this portion, I lost my beloved in February, and if I had known you then, I could have conscribed you and requested and earned for her in a certain shape, in the appropriate size. And what about color?
Yes, the color, any kind of color that you would want. I don't do a lot of glazing right now because I'm firing with propane. So I do what's called a raku firing process. And so I like to raku fire the piece first and then use different inks and spray paints, or, and they could be spray paints or they could be watercolor, graffiti paints, you name it. I use it. So yeah, whatever kind of paint is fine. And I throw it on the potter's wheel, and then I go to the wood lathe and I turn a custom wood lid for each piece as well.
Oh, so
So
they
it's
have a
actually,
wooden lid.
yeah, so it's a ceramic body with a wood lid.
Hmm.
So there's
And
two different things.
Matt, if I wanted to have an image of her put on a piece, how would you do that?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me that. They ask me, well, if I send you a picture, can you paint, paint the picture of my pet on the urn? And I'm not a real, I do some drawing and stuff, but I'm not a portrait artist per se. I'm more of a carver, throwing on the potter's wheel, woodwork, stuff like that. So what I've recently thought about, and what I'm working on right now, actually today, I was just out there in the studio today working on it, is my lids are about 5 or 6 inches in diameter, and I'm got a lathe tool where I can actually take out about 4 or 5 inches of that lid, and somebody could send me a picture of their pet, and I could turn that into a circle and put that in the actual wood lid, and then pour epoxy on top of that so that they would have a actual picture of their pet on the lid of the urn.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
That's brilliant.
yeah.
In working with faithfulfriends.com, we have provided a direct link through to your website for you. How would you work with someone who contacted you? What would the
Well,
next
there's
steps be?
usually people like to email me. It seems like people in general like email nowadays, but then also, a lot of my clients call me. So yeah, and or both. I always suggest both. Start off with an email, kind of let me know what you're interested in. Maybe send me some pictures of the pet, and then kind of go from there via email. And then I usually, I do it just like a tattoo artist would do. If, let's say, for example, somebody, a lot of people get memorial tattoos of their pets on their body. Actually, there was a statistic that I read that over 60% of tattoos done are memorial tattoos. So they're either memorials of their pets or their, mom or dad or whatever. So, so the process for me, being that I'm the first artist to tattoo on ceramics, is very much like going into a tattoo shop and saying, hey, I would like this design on my arm or whatever, on my chest or back. And so it's very much like that. So we can go through email or chat on the phone and pick designs out. I can draw different designs, and then we just go back and forth.
One of the things that's different from a tattoo on your skin is that you can pass these ceramic unique works of art on through your family and your
That's right.
family
That's right.
members. So
Yep.
yeah.
And it
So
hurts a lot less too. It hurts a lot less. And you have something that, like you said, you have a family heirloom that you can pass down to family generations. So yeah.
that's right. That's cute. Matt, how long does it take? Let's say that I reach out to you and we discuss, and from the time I first connect with you until I actually receive my urn, how much time does it take you?
It takes a little bit. I always tell people between 2 and 3 weeks. That is my current lead time right now for a custom urn. because like I said, there's so much to the process, there's me, obviously throwing the piece first on the potter's wheel, and then the next day I have to trim, I get to trim the piece. And then the next about week it has to dry. And then I carve it, and then it dries some more, and then I fire it, and then I paint it, and then I do the woodwork for the lid. So it's quite the process. It really is quite the process. It's a labor
Frankly,
of
I'm
love.
surprised. Really, I can tell that you're impassioned and pretty much inspired and called to pursue this, but I am surprised that it's that short a period of time. Frankly, I'm impressed.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. What else would you like us to know about you and not just your beautiful urns that really are treasured works of art, but about your mission and your goals and your passions?
Sure. My main goal, I'm almost 52. I won't say 52. I'm still 51. And I've done a lot of business in my career, and I want the later years in my life to be spent, doing what I truly love to do and what I think I'm called to do, which is, helping people through the grieving process. That's really what I want to do, and that's my why, if you will. People always talk about, what's your why? Why are you doing this business? Why are you doing what you do? My why is because I want to help people through the grieving process. The memorials that I've created for people in the past have been such a touching thing for me personally, and it has connected me with them in such a personal level, and gave such meaning to my art, that I just want to do it. I just have an inner drive to do it and to help people and serve people in that way. So that's my why. I just want to help people. I want to serve people. I want to help them memorialize and help them through the grieving process.
I knew there was a reason we needed to know each other, Matt, because that's exactly what faithfulfriends.com tries to do, is help pass through that horrible time of grief
Yes.
and come through on the other side with the better understanding of the joy and the value of the relationship and the lives you shared, without minimizing or trying to ignore the truly deep, awful pain that loss of a pet can bring.
Yes, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Well,
That's
I'm
good. I'm
delighted.
glad. That's right. I'm glad that we're connected as well, because we do have the same mission. We do have the same, thing that we're going down the path with. So yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, since our pets are so valued, they deserve a valuable final resting place to be honored and remembered. And I hope people who are listening to this will look up Too Tall's Pottery, reach
Yes.
out to Matt Kennedy, and of course, share your experiences with us on faithfulfriends.com. And Matt, I can't thank you enough. You have really touched me. You've inspired me. I've seen your work, and I look forward to seeing more of it and hopefully speaking with you again soon.
Well, thank you. Me too. That's great. I love it.
Good. We'll see you soon. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.